Here we go.
Okay, so apologies about the technical difficulties. So my name is Gaelle Mokoy and I run Gaelle Mokoy Coaching. I've got 12 years experience in marketing, graduated with a BA in marketing in 2011 and graduated with an MSc in digital marketing communication in 2018, both of those from Manchester Metropolitan University. A bit of my accolades. So I have worked on Fresh Off the Runway, which was an event that was taking part in Manchester for 2 years running. I've also worked with Tina Lobondi, a fashion designer in London. With her, we have worked together on Isimbi magazine and Isimbi social. Um, the social side of things was to work with children in Africa, in Congo specifically, who did not were homeless, who could not go to school and could not afford a basic education. So we were focusing on that. And the magazine, we focused on Black and African excellence. I worked on Glowtech, a tech company, excuse me, based in Congo, and Pretty Desire Lashes. That was a lashes brand that I was running. Um, this says basically I used to sell lashes. And from last year, I have actually focused my time freelance working with side hustlers and small businesses. Okay.
Mhm.
So that's a little bit about me. So in today's webinar, we are going to focus on understanding and learning how to identify your target audience. So what we're going to learn is what is a target audience, why you need to know your target audience, how to figure out your target audience, and creating a customer avatar. Okay, is everyone good so far?
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
me know if you've got
Ivy's
any
just
questions.
joining us, and we've got a new joiner.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, so what is a target audience? So, a target audience is a group of people identified as being likely customers to your business. Target audience share similar demographic traits, including but not limited to age, gender, location, education, socioeconomic status. Okay, so a target audience is your starting point in finding out basically who your ideal client is and who you need to sell to. Okay, so that's where you start. That is just as important as having a target, an ideal client, excuse me, and that's where you start. So you start as your means to go on. Okay, identifying your target audience as a business can help craft marketing strategies and define your core customers. Instead of spending money and resources trying to cater for every customer, defining your target audience allows for a more intentional and personal outreach to those most likely to purchase your product and services. So when you find your target audience, you are more likely to identify your ideal client because they are within that group. So they have the same age, gender, location. Your location can be local, can be national, can be global, education, and socioeconomic status. Okay, so please, if you have any questions, just shout them out and I will answer them for you. Okay, so you need to think about the demographic factors. Okay, so demographic factors tell you who are buying your products or services, while psychographic factors reveal why they buy it. Observing your core market interests and characteristics can help you gain insights about their preferences and help you incorporate some of those attributes into your brand messages. Psychographic covers the following: personality, attitudes, values, interests, hobbies, lifestyles, and behaviors. Okay, so when looking at your target audience, of course, you can bundle them up, as I said before, age, gender, location, education, socioeconomic status. But the psychographic traits help you find out why. So their personality, their attitudes, their values, um, that will help you craft a brand personality. That will help you know how to talk to them, when to talk to them, their interests and hobbies. That will show you what they look at, where they look at things. Do they prefer to, for example, in terms of interest, do they like to, if they are interested in photography, do they buy photography magazines or do they learn everything on YouTube? Things like that. Lifestyle as well is basically how they live. That will help you decipher a bit more about them, and behaviors as well. Buying behaviors are very, very important. It will let you know whether they actually think before buying, whether they do some research before buying, or whether they're just an impulse buyer. Okay. So when you are in business, whether you're starting out, whether you're looking to pivot your business, take it in a different direction, or whether you're looking to scale up, you need to think about who your target audience is right now. Okay. And when you're answering this question, think about where you are looking at your audience, not just the platform you use,
Mm.
but the competition you follow. So that means, for example, if you are a fashion brand, okay, just before I carry on, what kind of businesses do we have here so that I can actually relate it to the people here? Everyone is a coach, yeah?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, fantastic. Everyone is a coach. So I will take myself, for example. I am a marketing coach. Okay, so when looking at my audience, who is my target audience right now? So my target audience at the moment is mainly Black business women who are starting or have started their businesses in the last 3 years. Okay. Within that time, they have realized that when they were starting their business, there was an element missing, and that was the element of culture. When they went to see business advisors, when they went to see marketing advisors or anything like that, in the main associations, that's the word I'm looking for, in the main associations, they did not understand the cultural aspect of things. So the majority of the time they were told, your business is not going to work, your people do not like your business, we don't think it's going to go anywhere. Why? Because they didn't understand the cultural aspect.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where I came in. I went in the industry, working, specifically looking to work with Black businesswomen who had that problem, because I have had that problem. So in order to find my target audience, I looked within myself. Some people do that. Not everybody does that. Okay, I look within myself. And when I started, of course, like I said, it's not just the platform you use, but the competition you follow. My favorite platform is Instagram. So therefore, I started looking at my audience on Instagram. I started to try and find them and see what they do and how they do things. And it was the same with my competition. I started first looking at coaches and then eventually looking at Black coaches and see what they do. Okay, does that make sense? If anyone has any questions, please do let me know and shout them out in the chat there. Okay, no questions so far. So, and the next question is, I apologize, I've written that twice there. Who would you like your target audience to be? Okay, and when you answer this question, answer it very honestly, because the worst thing for anyone to hear, for myself to hear especially, is when a person says anyone. Now, anyone cannot be your target audience, because anyone will not fit in your price range. Anyone will not understand what you're trying to sell. Anyone will not want what you're trying to sell. And anyone will not need what you're trying to sell. So describe your target audience as the person you would like it to be. Okay, be very precise, be very clear, put in as much information as you need in there. Okay, so as I said, Gaelle Mokoy, coaching. What problem am I solving? And why is this young lady here my target audience? Okay, so I have named her Kelly. Okay, I have no customers or clients named Kelly, but when I started, that's the idea that I had in there. A young Black woman living in the UK, started a business or a side hustle. She is aged between 25 to 44 years old. She's educated to degree level at least and earns at least 20,000 a year, is in a relationship. Okay. Now it can happen, okay, that when you get clients, it falls into that or it falls out. They could be earning more, for example. They could be slightly younger. Instead of being in a relationship, they are single. But you have the bulk of things in there. Okay, this is what I was looking at. The main aspect was that she started a business or a side hustle. Okay. And where did I go to find this information? So as I said, my main platform that I enjoy using the most is Instagram. So I went on Instagram and I started looking. And the amazing thing with Instagram right now is you can search the hashtags, you can search specific keywords. It's becoming a little bit more like Google. Okay, so Instagram is the first place that I looked at, and then of course Instagram being linked with Facebook, I then looked on Facebook. So where can I find them? And the beauty with Facebook, although I do not use it as much, is that everyone loves a good page that caters to their needs, or everyone loves a good group where they can find people similar to them. So that's a great place to find them as well. Next is Google, because I don't know about you, but in my household, when there is the slightest argument or the slightest disagreement, we stop and we say, you know what, ask Google. Google will give us the answer. Okay, so with Google, there is, of course, you can ask the answer of how many Black women run businesses in the UK, or you can use things such as Google Trends, which provide you with the type of searches that people use at a certain amount of time within the country or within, you know, a specific location. So I'm based in Manchester. You can use that as well. Oh, again, typo, I do apologize. It's actually Statista. It is a platform that gives you statistics. Okay, it gives you yes, statistics about the type of, you know, for example, who uses what platform. That's what I used it for. So as I said, I use Instagram a lot. So who uses Instagram? It gave me a breakdown of the percentage per age. So 11 to 18, 18 to 25, 25 to 44, and 44 plus. So it gave me the percentage of people that uses Instagram, and also I searched, you know, within that percentage who were business owners. So that was helpful for that. And of course, your competition. What is your competition doing? Okay, who are they talking to? Are they answering the same type of what's the word I'm looking for? Are they helping your audience the same way that you are? Are they doing something different? So it's a great place there to get started on your research. Okay, just checking if there's any questions. No questions so far. Great. Okay, so Google, you ask the right questions and Google will give you the information. So as I was saying before, for example, who buys the most perfume in the UK? How much did people spend on luxury travel in 2019? Where do people buy the most shoes? Those are just basic questions that you can ask Google, okay? My advice, as I said there, is the question starts, you can start them simple, and they will become more and more elaborate in order to find the right answer. So for example, those three examples that I said there, who buys the most perfume in the UK? Okay, and then you put there, you can then ask which perfume was the most successful in 2020. How much is how much is the average price of a perfume in the UK? So on and so forth, and then you will start finding the answers to your question. Okay, it's not just about asking the question, it's about asking the right questions to Google. Facebook, especially if you have a Facebook page or you use Facebook business. As a coach, I would advise definitely to everyone, of course, to have a Facebook page and Facebook business, because it works wonders. You can check out your audience insights. It allows you to look at your audience and their behaviors on social media. It also helps you see where they are, what device they use for social media, and what other pages they follow. I know that Instagram has Instagram Insights, which is, again, fantastic, and I will talk about that in a moment. What the Instagram Insights doesn't allow you to see is, of course, what device they use for social media and what other pages they follow, okay? Because from Facebook, if you check out what other pages they follow, and what other devices that did you have. It can help you target them a lot better when you do some advertising, or if you decide to do SEO or to do Google Ads as well. Instagram, again, if you have a business page, if you do not, please get one as soon as possible. Use your insights. It will tell you, of course, who follows you, where they live, what time they are mostly online. Then, well, it's not the most recent feature, but a really good feature that I enjoy about the insights is it tells you, of course, the percentage of accounts reached, the percentage of accounts engaged, and if you've gained or lost any new followers compared to last week, or compared to, you know, a couple of months before, if you wish to. And then with that, you can go back to your previous posts, see what you've done well, see and reuse that method, or do a post that is similar to that as well. So that is an amazing thing about Instagram that I enjoy. Statista, again, as I said before, provides you with statistics. One thing that I love about Statista and statistics is that facts, no one can deny those. Opinions can change over time, but facts are facts, they are true. Okay, they can let you know if there is a market to enter, and they will show you how much money is being made in that industry as well. And your competition. So if you have a competition, you will definitely find your audience there. List your competition and do some research around them. So for example, fashion. The reason why this is fashion based, I work with a lot of fashion and beauty companies. So allow me to talk about it that way. So for example, Boohoo, Misguided and Pretty Little Things are for young female women. I don't know why I've written it that way, I apologize. For young women aged between 18 and 28 that are interested in the latest fashion, that are interested in pop culture, that have a limited budget and enjoy instant gratification. Okay, so they are interested in the latest fashion, so that means they will follow the likes of Rihanna, Kim Kardashian, is it Kendall Jenner, the youngest one? One of the Jenners, the one, you know, the Kardashian clan. They will follow the likes of Ariana Grande, which is of course pop culture, and they wear the latest fashion trend. They would like to dress and look like them, but of course on a limited budget, therefore the clothes is cheaper, and they do not want to wait a couple of months to have raised the funds. They want it now. So therefore it is instant gratification. Okay. Is everyone okay so far? Do you have any questions?
So far, I think, thank you so far. I think that the issue that I've had with some of these is that they've got quite a big learning curve, haven't they? Like for the analytics and the insights and stuff, like Instagram and Facebook. Sometimes you need to kind of master those to be able to get, you know, as much out of them as possible. What's your thoughts towards learning how to use those in that way, in that depth and in that way?
Do you want me to be honest with you? Me and Mary joke about this all the time. As soon as you learn to use Instagram and Facebook or whichever else, they have changed the algorithm. And then you have to learn it all over again.
Right, okay. So it's just a constant thing that you have to keep doing anyway.
Yes, it's a constant thing that you have to keep doing anyways. However, what I advise is, in terms of the insights that it gives you, especially the one for Instagram, because everyone, I would say, I think the last 5-6 years, it's been drummed into people that Instagram is the place to make money, and rightfully so, you can make money on there. What I do advise when looking at your insights, okay, is of course, look at them in general, but then look at them individually. Looking at them individually will give you a better idea of how well each post is doing. So you get okay, let me give you a basic lesson on insights there. So accounts reached is the amount of people who have, by the way, would it be okay for everyone just to, like, if you have an Instagram page that is a business page, if you could look at your insights and let me know if you're there, so that I can just give you a bit of advice there in terms of accounts. So the insights overview, the accounts reached is the amount of accounts that have seen your posts. The accounts engaged is the amount of people that have engaged in your post. So that's liking, that's commenting, that's sharing, that is saving. And then total followers, the amount of followers that you've got now compared to, let's say, last week, or compared to whether you gained some or lost some. Okay, those are really the main three that you need to look at, because the more accounts you reach, the more you can get people to engage with you. The more people you engage with you, the more followers you'll get, and then you can start building a funnel. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah. Fantastic. Okay. So from doing all of the research, from understanding your target audience, from understanding who they are, what they enjoy, etc., etc., you will then find some pain points. So pain points, of course, are a specific problem that prospective customers of your business are experiencing before knowing your business. So the questions that you need to ask yourself is, what are your customers going through right now? How does that make them feel? And what are they thinking? Okay, so if, again, with fashion, if you, a customer would like to buy an item of clothing, okay, that they've seen on Rihanna, okay, how does that make them feel? Is that they would really, they love the item, they think it's gorgeous, you know, they think it's beautiful. What are they going through right now? Oh, I would love to wear that for such and such an event. I would love to wear that for my birthday. I would love to wear that for such a party. What are they thinking? They're thinking, how can I acquire that item? And this is where the likes of Boohoo, Misguided, and Pretty Little Things come in, because they are fast fashion. They have a high turnaround of the item that they can provide to the target audience. And that is how they fix the pain points. Okay. Pain points, they fall into 5 categories. Okay. Finances, productivity, convenience, process, and support. So let me just check. Yeah, we've got Kelly next. So finances, you know, can they afford it? You know, is it affordable? Is it accessible? Do I have enough money to pay for it? Productivity, does it help them achieve more? Does it help them do more in a day-to-day? Or does it make it difficult for them to achieve those things? Convenience. In terms of convenience, I don't know about you, but in this whole pandemic, the company that understood convenience to the T was Uber. Uber made my life so easy in terms of getting food to me, but also I do not have to go out to do the shopping, because now I can order from Sainsbury's on Uber and it comes to my door. Okay, convenience. Uber has understood that. Even Amazon, yeah, Mary's right, Amazon. Yes, at some point I think I was just opening Amazon for the sake of opening Amazon. I didn't need anything. So yes, the process. How easy is the process? Again, because everything has become so digital, you know, the process needs to be easy. And support. How do you help your audience achieve what they need to achieve, get to the end point? How do you help them to do that? Okay, so those are the 5 categories of the pain points. Now, thinking about pain points, let's go back to Kelly. How am I helping Kelly? How am I solving Kelly's problems? Okay, I created a customer avatar. So Kelly also, is she real? Is she not real? That's completely irrelevant. I've given her a name to make her feel real. Like I said, I've got her age, her sex, her occupation, education, relationship status, where she lives, her interest, and her attitudes. That's what I needed to create the avatar. Her pain points was, again, can she afford it? Productivity, does it help her achieve her goals? Convenience, does it make her life easier? Process, does it provide her with an ease to access her reach? And support, does she receive the help that she needs? So in terms of the businesses that I've worked with in the last year, I think I've worked with around 20 to 25 businesses alone. Getting coaching services especially as a startup, especially as a Black business, can be very difficult. So I made it as affordable as possible to my target audience. Productivity, does it help them achieve their goal? I would like to think that I did, simply because I got them to a point where they did not understand their target audience. They did not understand that they needed marketing, and then they did. So I helped them go towards achieving their goals. Convenience, does it make their life easier? I believe so, because they went from not understanding why their audience, excuse me, let me rephrase that. They went from not understanding why they couldn't reach their audience. They went from not understanding why their marketing wasn't working to understanding why it wasn't working, but to also getting strategies and tips on how to make it work. Process, does it provide her with easy access or reach? I help them put processes in place. I help them use the right tools in order to create content, the right tools in order to find a target audience, the right tools in order to do some social listening, in order to, again, reach their target audience. And support, do they feel supported? Now, again, you can ask Mary. I am on my phone 24/7, okay? Even at 3 a.m., although I shouldn't be, but I feel that I was supporting my target audience the best way that I knew how, in order to help them reach their target. Okay. Okay, so as a business, as coaches, what we like to do is to be drivers for change. What is it that you would like to change for your customer? The change that I wanted to make for my target audience was that I wanted to change their view of not receiving help from experts to eventually receiving help from experts affordably. Okay, that is how I wanted to help my customer, receiving help from experts affordably in order to grow their business and make more revenue. So I'm now turning that on to you as coaches and as creator of change for your target audience. I would like you to just write in the comments in one sentence, what does your business do? So my business, does it educate, inspire, teach, help your target audience who wants, needs, deserve, or would like to achieve something? And my business does this by, again, typo, I do apologize. My business does this by. What do you think your business does for your target audience? Again, you can either, say it out loud, or you can write it in the comments. Are you guys still here, by the way? Because I can't hear anyone. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here, just typing.
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so Ivy, my business connects business to business. And how does it do that? So your business helps, yes, your business helps businesses connect. And your business does this by? Consultants, through consultancy. Okay, I like that. Very good. So your business helps businesses connect through consultancy. Fantastic. Thank you, Mary. On the one tailor approach, Ivy. I like that. Okay, so Mary, my business helps businesses owners to create consistent sales in their business by giving them clarity and strategic direction that propels them. I like that, Mary. I like that you all have a good idea of what you need to offer. Okay, so Michelle, my business helps creative and empaths level up their confidence and online skills to become more discoverable online. That is fantastic. Thank you all for that. And thank you. That was basically my presentation on how to find your target audience. And I like how you already know how you are drivers for change and how you are helping the target audience. Oh, Shireen, I've just seen yours. My business helps mothers reconnect with their teenagers and fall in love with them again by sharing ways to change their perspective. I love that. I really like that. JJ, my business develop courage and redesign their lives in 8 weeks with confidence. Wow, that's amazing.
Well done, everyone.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions for me?
I think, yeah, my questions are always around the social media aspect and being able to locate. I've done it maybe once or twice, the exercise with Kelly, with having an avatar and being able to drill down and really think about who that person is. But then I think it's something that maybe I did pre-COVID, and maybe that's changed a little bit after COVID. I haven't really reinvestigated again now in these new times. So I think it's an exercise that I probably need to do again.
Well, perhaps, yes, that's true. But the basis of creating an avatar, and that's a beautiful thing of creating an avatar, you can have more, you
have more than one, yes. Yeah.
Kelly is basically the basis of everything, but with Kelly, I started with Kelly and I created another 2 because I've realized that within my business, I have startup businesses, I have businesses that are looking to pivot, and I have businesses that are looking to scale up. So I have 3 avatars, but I started with Kelly, which eventually helped me create the other 2 as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. How about everyone else? Has anyone else gone and started this process or further down it or at the end of it and have an avatar already?
Yes, I've started that journey. It's been a labor of love, to say the least.
Can I ask Michelle, how did you go about it? What was your starting point?
I needed to retrain very quickly. I had to retrain because I needed to come off my NHS job of 10 years to support my autistic daughter who was homeschooled at the time. So I took a social media certification with Tech Pixies, and that because about 3 years ago, I thought Instagram was a dating website for teenagers. So I've come a really, really long way. And I think initially at the time, I found out I had a lot of the attributes with my avatar, with my ideal client, because I wanted to work with other moms of autistic children to kind of support them along their journey. That's changed ever so slightly. So now I'm starting to craft a new avatar around creatives and empaths to help them get confidence like I did. So I guess in a way I am still my ideal customer, older person who wants to be confident that they can use their creative and empathic abilities to help support other people. And I'm starting to look at devising like toolkits and stuff around that to help them get started. Because I feel like a lot of my colleagues and we have started everything from scratch. And there are so many resources and tools out there to take a bit of that anxiety away. So I'm just kind of like mirroring some of my own story and my own journey in order to kind of like help that. And also I'm doing focus groups and getting people to kind of like give me some insights into some of their pain points and struggles.
Yeah, that's a really good way to go about it. Well done. Yeah, you've come a long way. Well done.
I think that's what it is, definitely. Like I said with myself as well, my starting point was Black women because I felt like the cultural aspect was missing. There was a lack of understanding, and a lot of times I went to business advisors with several business ideas that they rejected, and they said that, it would not work because they did not understand culture. With that, eventually it has evolved. It has evolved now to, like, as I said, I've got 3 avatars: startup, pivot, and scale up. And within that, there's no really a lot of cultural implication. It's just a business that is starting up, that is a service-based business that needs and deserves my help. So yes, it is definitely a journey of growth. Yes. And in terms of sort of the research that you've done, and this is for everyone, where do you normally go for your research? Of course, there is, as I said, Instagram, Facebook, Google, Statista, but is there anything else that you use in terms of research in order to find a target audience and talk to them correctly?
So for me, I do, like, I actually reach out to my ideal client. So let's say, for example, my avatar is a 30-year-old woman that has a day job and a side business. I will actually look for that person and just give them a questionnaire and ask them questions and find out, just to validate my assumption that they're actually my ideal clients and they actually have the problem that they said I assume that they have, and to find out whether they'll be willing to actually pay for my service actually. So as much as also doing all the social media, find them on Google or Facebook and do that kind of research, I do like hands-on research as well, which is just reaching out to the people that falls under my, in quote, ideal client, and just to validate, because I've been there before where I thought certain people are my ideal clients, and then I realized that actually they're not. And then I had to pivot, I had to change and make sure, I have to do that exercise of just doing that research, get the analysis and say, I see. And then, so for me, is that hands-on research of questionnaire, interviews with people, just to hear from them. And also even goes deeper than, understanding what the problem is, deeper in the sense of how would they want to get that solution I'm providing for them. And that helps me in delivering what I want to deliver to my ideal clients, like the wider audience in the market.
Definitely, that's good. I think what you do there, perhaps, and this is me asking a question, do you perhaps meet them at networking events, or do you meet them through someone who has said that, this person needs this kind of help? Because that is how I would do that. I find that, go ahead, Nair.
So I think mine is just, it can be people that I don't know, it can be from networking, and it can be people that I do not actually know about. But like, for example, the first one I did back like last year, I just went to different groups. I put on my social media, Instagram. I went to different groups on Facebook and I just put I'm looking for certain people that meet this kind of criteria, that are suffering from this in their business. I have this, 30 minutes free, whatever. If you're interested, get in touch with me. And I had like lots of people get in touch, like my DM, and I scheduled like Zoom call with them, and we go on the call and I just start asking them questions, basically, for me to then understand what they're going through. What is a long time? Is 8 weeks short enough, or is 12 weeks long enough for them to actually get that, the result they want? Would they just want one-to-one? Would they want group program? How, all these kind of questions, that's what I asked them, that kind of informed my decisions on how I present my solution to my ideal clients.
Okay. So basically you actively go searching for, yes, you actively go searching for your target audience who may have the pain points that you need, again, on Facebook or on Instagram, or, where the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mary. Thank you. I love that approach, actually, to actively seek out your target audience, because that is one of the things in marketing. And again, I'm a corporate who have done that. When I first went into business, because I have worked within businesses where, they are established and the customers will come to them because they are known brands, they are known names. I felt like the same thing would happen to me as I started, whereas in fact, I had to take the time to actually go out there and seek out my clients as well. I had to take the time to go out there and start, the conversations that I needed, because believe it or not, the beautiful thing about pain points, at time, your target audience doesn't even know that they have them. They don't even realize that they have those issues. They are just drowning and they don't know why. They don't understand why. that does happen. So it is one of the most beautiful things about pain points. You know, you can point them out to them. And I think what Mary said about sort of seeking out your customers, they will be attracted to you because they resonate with what you have to say. They resonate with, you know, the way you perhaps draft your comments or draft your posts. They will resonate with that, and then they will turn around and say, well, actually, you know what, I may need this little bit of a conversation. And then when they have the conversation with you, they then realize, wow, yes, I have this problem within my business. Wow, yes, I would need that. Wow, yes, definitely we can do that as well. Yes. Does anyone have any more questions?
I don't have a question, but I do tend to get a lot of my clients from hosting events. So it's, I don't know if that's different. I guess it's different to actively seeking my ideal clients. But I would host an event and push that on different platforms. I also have a meetup group, and so people join my events and then they sign up and become clients. So that's one of the ways that I get, you know, I meet my ideal clients, because people will go through my workshops and they will identify with some of the things that I talk about, and then realize that they have those pain points and they want to work with me. So other than that, most of my clients actually, apart from those that come to me via the events, the other ones come to me via my Instagram posts, which was really surprising for me, because like Lachelle, I was 2 years ago, I was an Instagram novice. I had to do a marketing course and a social media course and a digital marketing course to get some understanding. I thought that Instagram was Snapchat. So I didn't know the difference between the two. So yeah, so I started off, you know, complete novice, and I had no idea about like my client avatar or what the pain points were. And when I started off, but now I guess I think my process was think about what my pain points were, and realizing that a lot of my ideal clients actually were previous versions of me, and that's how I'm able to help them, because the things that I've been able to use and put into practice to help and redesign my own life. So people who are in the stage of life that I've been in, I've been able to go back there and seek those people out, or attract those people through the comments, through the posts that I share, and the rest of them come to me from events that I host.
See, that right there, what you have described is a full marketing strategy. Okay, you may not, well, I'm sure you do, because you've done marketing courses and social media marketing courses, but you have described the marketing strategy. So you run events, okay, whereby you know that you will attract your audience. So I'm sure you've heard of it, the push-pull strategy. So you push information out there, and then you pull in your target audience. So that is a full marketing strategy that you've described. So you run the events, and then you have meetup. Now, to be honest with you, I understand meetup. I'm not a fan of it. Especially during the pandemic, I felt like it didn't help me in any way. But before that, I used to enjoy it quite a bit. So you have meetup groups where you have a group of your potential target audience already. And then it's also there for those that are intrigued, you know, that are looking to then join or to take that journey in their life. And then you use social media actively and in the right way, because some people are attracted through your post. So within your post, you're using the right information, the right form of copy. You are saying the right things that makes them resonate. Of course, that will then first of all make them know you, you know, then they will start commenting, start liking every single one of your posts, and then they will trust you. You know, they will trust you, as Mary created. Well, for me, I think she coined the term know, like, trust. They know you, they like you, they trust you enough to follow you, to listen to you, and then eventually they will trust you enough to buy from you. And one of the things we need to be wary of, coach, you know, any business, but the coaching industry especially, that especially with Instagram, it's become very saturated, very noisy. There's a lot going on. So knowing what to say and knowing how to reach our target audience with our words is very important. You know, it's knowing what to do, because I'm sure everyone saw this at the beginning of the pandemic. You couldn't open your Instagram without seeing live at the top. There was a line, you know, everyone was doing exactly the same thing. So everyone had exactly the same strategy because everyone was online, but you have a mixture. So you have a good strategy there for yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny actually, because that's partly, JJ, similar to in the pandemic for me. I went to Meetup as a different platform. I'm not very confident on Instagram, and I had Facebook a long time ago, and I've tried to do a bit of work in it and didn't really give it enough time and got quite overwhelmed, in all honesty. So I was looking for a platform that was more face-to-face and little bit more, you know, I'm a talker, I'm rather get in front of someone and think, well, and I was really lucky enough to inherit a Meetup group of single parents. And when I inherited that group and started to co-run it with someone who I met, we already had 2,000 parents in a single parent group on Meetup through the pandemic. And because we couldn't meet up, which is obviously what the platform's aim to do, we all went online, and I was able to get a captive audience online to talk about parenting. And actually it was a thing because parents were locked down with their kids. So it gave me a bit of momentum to get get it out there and to post regular talks and bits and pieces. And that worked really well for a strategy. As it happens now though, obviously pandemic's over, everyone's gone back out to work. So that's not working as much now. So I need to reuse that. But actually, for me, that's what it was, a good platform from that point of view. And I still have got an audience of people there. No, not all my target audience, like you said, but some of them within that will be. And it's just a case of filtering them down a little bit more. Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome.
That's fantastic. I think what happened to you, Shireen, is literally you stumbled on gold. You literally stumbled on pot of gold.
It's like everyone said, I was looking for people like me, and I thought, well, what would I do? And I was part of a Meetup group many years ago when I was looking for support as a parent with kids, teenagers, and I found a group, and then it just happened that a similar group had lost its leader, its host, and they were looking for someone to host it, and I thought timing was perfect, and I did it with another lady, and it just worked out really well. So it was sometimes you got to ask for what you want, and I asked for that, and it came. I was open to it, and it came my way. That's how I'd say it.
Yeah, that is fantastic. I do believe that Meetup is a really good place. Like I said, because we are going back into the world now. So I think it would be used more and more and more. So that's definitely, and another, I know that all platforms, etc., social media come and go. I mean, a couple of years ago, we had High Five. Who remembers High Five now? We had MySpace. I used to love High Five. We had MySpace, but of course, Facebook took over, and then Instagram, and then Twitter, and now, of course, TikTok. I believe that, I still believe that Instagram is not going to go anywhere. It really isn't. But the thing with TikTok, you would find that compared to Instagram, where everything has to be perfect, everything has to be, image worthy, like worthy, TikTok is the vulnerability of things, and it still has some mechanism issues and a lot of issues like other platforms. But with TikTok, I find that when you are vulnerable, when you are honest to yourself and to your audience about what your life is like, they are definitely more intrigued. They do not want to see a perfectly presented person. No, they want to know the truth. They want to know the raw honesty of things. Like, for example, there was this brand, Grassfields. I don't know if you know it, but it's quite a big brand on Instagram with loads of followers, etc. Whereas on TikTok, they had a completely different personality, and they talked about how the pandemic nearly shut down their business, how it was difficult for them to go through the pandemic. So on TikTok, I enjoy watching more than doing, to be honest with you. But TikTok, it would be, if I were to go on there, my strategy would be to talk about the hardship of being a Black woman in business, or the ease of being the Black woman in business, or what it is like being a Black woman in business in the UK. So that is the strategy that I will take there. My strategy for Instagram What works very well for me, and Mary can vouch for this, but she's seen it, my energy when I'm doing live. I find that the interaction that I get with people leads to a lot more people coming in my DMs, talking to me, asking more information and looking to work with me. The posts, they work well, but my DM and my stories as well. I think the queen of life, thank you, Mary. But I think my stories, what I do is I literally show that my feed is very business, it's very serious, but I think my stories, I show a lot more my personality. I show a lot more that, of course, yes, I'm a marketing guru, but I am a marketing guru with a personality, and this is how I do things. And this is, you can ask Mary, I think it was on one occasion where I had, sometimes it's a bad thing, I need to stop doing that, but I would do all-nighters and I will work through the night. And I think it was about 4 a.m. I'm like, you know what, let me try and film some videos. When I tell you it went completely wrong, everything was going wrong, from my hair to my outfit to I couldn't get my words out. But when I put that on there, my audience loved it. My audience enjoyed it. So much so that I got so many people in my DMs, and from that they were like, I can relate to this. I have done this. Reels are difficult. Can you talk to me about this? So on and so forth. So it really is about what works for you as well. It really is about what your strategy is around your audience, but also bringing your personality in there as well. Yes, authenticity. Thank you, Mary. Yes.
Yeah. Gaelle, I know we're going to be wrapping up soon, but what do you think about Clubhouse as a platform? Because it was, again, you talked about things that came and went. It was kind of big in part of the late part of the pandemic or earlier this year. And then I haven't really heard much about it since. I don't know if many people are still using it.
I think a lot of people are still using it, but it's just not for me. It's just not for me, simply because I am not the type of person that listens to podcasts or anything like that. I'm very visual. So if you are a person that listens to podcasts on the go, but for example, you listen to a podcast and you would like to comment, but you can't, or you would like to steer the conversation in a different way, but you can't, I think podcast is good for that audience. I think that there is room for it, definitely, but it's not for me. I think it'll still be around for a long time. Like, for example, when Snapchat came out, I think in 2011 or 2012, me and all my friends went crazy over it, and then after a while I just got bored.
Yeah. I suppose, again, it depends on where your audience are. I mean, if your audience are all on Clubhouse, then it's a good platform, isn't it? And I noticed that Twitter are doing Twitter Spaces, which is basically Clubhouse now, and they just brought that in quite recently.
The thing about Twitter, a lot of people thought that Twitter will die, but Twitter is the only platform that I would say is the most stable, because Twitter never crashes. Twitter doesn't disappear. Twitter brings in a couple of things from other platforms a bit later than everybody else. Twitter is like Microsoft, if you think about it. You can go stable. Twitter's stable. Yes.
Yeah. And it was funny how everyone jumped on Twitter when everything else went down. So you're right, it felt like an old time platform. Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you. Do we have any more questions?
Yeah, Gaelle, I just wanted to ask, in terms of linking, if you want to use only entirely linking, can it be like playful in a manner but still serious, just to get two kind of audiences?
I think so. You can. The only person that I feel like does that, being playful quite well and still serious, is Gary Vee. But the thing with Gary Vee is he has a whole company behind him to do that. Okay, I believe you can still be playful on LinkedIn, and also, but celebrities are joining in on a LinkedIn trend. Like the other day, for example, I didn't expect this, but I saw Jennifer Lopez, who had a page on there. I saw Will Smith. Again, I feel like he is the perfect idea of the person who is serious, who can talk to you seriously, but still can make you laugh at the same time. So I think those are two people that you can look at.
Okay, thanks.
All right, no problem at all. Mary, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk to you about that LinkedIn question about, so the thing is, see LinkedIn is a bragging place, basically. LinkedIn is where you want to show all your accolades of how many certifications you have. You will go, like, LinkedIn scares me. And I think I've shared this with Gaelle a lot of times. It scares because you see people on there, but then, like, realistically, they're not actually up to the level they present themselves to be on LinkedIn. Is because of they just speak normal English. And LinkedIn is where you show I feel like LinkedIn is where you show more of authority. Like, I've got this. And the way you present that authority is very professional. But you can present the same authority on Instagram in a very joking manner. You can literally do reels and still get the message across. But on LinkedIn, it's been perceived as, like you rightly said, serious platform where you it's like, when you share your thought process, like, LinkedIn is where they want to take your intelligence. They want to know about your intelligence. They want to know. So if I share something on Instagram, for example, I just share something about five reasons you're not generating sales in your business, for example. Now, if I go on LinkedIn, I'm not going to share it that way. I'll probably make what they call that thing, like not a blog, but you can create something like on LinkedIn that shows that you are knowledgeable about your area of expertise. That's basically LinkedIn. But one thing I will say is that each social media platform, they have to post on Instagram and then just share it everywhere, because that's just easy, right? Post on Facebook, LinkedIn, just the same thing, right? And it was so wrong because each platform has different objectives. I would use LinkedIn to connect, to partner up, to look for, so I'm a business coach, but I would like to be a leadership coach as well. I've gone through John Maxwell, so I can actually connect with organizations where I can go in and actually train the members or train the managers or things like that. But Instagram, they're not there. So those are two different ways to use, like, what you stand for. So for me at LinkedIn, I don't see myself selling a lot the way I would sell on Instagram or Facebook. On LinkedIn, I am looking for partnership. I am looking for leadership stuff. I'm looking for thought leaders. And let's talk. Let's use our intelligence, show that you actually know your stuff. Instagram, you can get away with not knowing anything and people still think you know something.
That's very true.
Instagram,
that's very true.
But LinkedIn, they will pull your ass out on LinkedIn.
See,
there's no way you can go on LinkedIn trying to fake it till you make it. You'll be pulled.
Very true.
Instagram, we can fake it till we make it on Instagram.
That's the reason why I used Gary Vee, because in fact, Smith, because they do. Gary Vee, I'm sure you've seen him. Gary Vee swears after every single word, and I think he's made it part of his personality that even when he goes on LinkedIn, or whether it's LinkedIn or TikTok or Facebook or whatever, that they still take him seriously. And Will Smith has done the same. He's made joking and laughing part of his personality, that even so, wherever he goes, they will still take him seriously. They still speak authoritatively. They still speak with the knowledge that they have. So perhaps that's the element that I missed. Thank you, Mary. They still show who they are within that industry. They do not hide it, but at the same time, they still bring that element of their personality differently on each platform, but they still bring that element of their personality. So Mary's very right there.
And as well, I want to ask, in terms of fundraising, which platform is the best in terms of fundraising kind of stuff, engaging in that kind of things?
What are you fundraising for?
For example, you can fundraise for a project like a housing project, and depend what it is, but it's based in community raising money.
It depends on how it depends on how you're talking to your audience. So on LinkedIn, I feel like you need to sell people the benefits of that project. So you need to turn around and say to people, so this project will achieve X, Y, and Z. So you basically need to write it like, I'm not going to say like you're writing an essay, but you need to write it from a place of knowledge. So this is the problem, this is what we're doing, and this is how we're solving it. Whereas on places like Instagram and specifically Facebook appeal to the emotional side, definitely. So on LinkedIn, appeal to the intellect, the success factor, you know, the achievements, because Mary said there, you know, they just accolades. They are after, you know, what are you achieving? Whereas on LinkedIn, whereas on Instagram and Facebook, it's a bit more human. It's a bit. Oh, thank you, JJ. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. And again, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. So on Facebook and Instagram, it's more the human side. You know, appeal to their emotions a lot more.
Okay, so can you combine LinkedIn and so which one would you advise? Is it LinkedIn and Instagram, or LinkedIn and Facebook group?
Sorry, can I just come in there, Gail? Sorry. Ivy, when you're asking what platform is good for fund, do you mean where to actually set up the fundraising or where to market it?
I want to do this at once. I don't want to be separating it, you know, when you do the message. I want to come and place the message and then create the group where people can, where they can see what the group is, what is happening to the group. You know what I mean? So you sell the image, what it is in LinkedIn, and then you showcase them the group that they are targeting, where they are located and what they're doing live, kind of. So we appeal like what Gaelle is saying, you know, the human side, they see the human side that is actually happening, that is there, you know.
Okay.
Then in the LinkedIn, they can associate it.
So it's not, so your question, again, my question again is, are you asking about where to raise the money? Or are you asking for where now we have obviously there are platforms to raise money, like GoFundMe, crowdfund, these things like that, right? That's where you create a profile to raise that money and you'll get a link. And then you can then market that link or that your fundraising on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook. So because LinkedIn is not a platform to raise money, but you can direct people on LinkedIn or Instagram to your GoFundMe link, for example. So I was trying to understand the question in the sense of, are you thinking about where is the best platform to raise money? Like, where do you create the profile to get the money in? Or where I have the profile, where do I market the link to the fundraising? Does that make sense? Am I confusing people?
Yeah, no, I understand.
No.
I understand that aspect that you have the GoFundMe, you put the thing there. It's just trying to get the corporations to, to fund. That's what I need, because if you set it up normally, it takes a long time. But if you associate yourself with the corporate world, then they see what they can get out of it. Then it will be much quicker to get the tax money.
Right. Okay, so corporate funding.
Yes, with that, I would say it's not about just posting it. It's literally, it has to be, again, targeted, very targeted, in the sense that you would need to actually look for the person that is in charge of marketing, or look for the person that is in charge of corporate donations, or
CSR.
You would need to find this person and talk to them directly first, and then say, this is what we're doing, and it needs to align with their CSR. Otherwise, they won't give. Because I remember when we're doing a city social, we got so many companies, and we got quite a few, like Proper Corn, like Iman. We got quite a few to sponsor us, but there were several that would say yes and then no, because we got through to the assistant, another person that was making the decisions. So yes. So they would say yes, we get excited, and say no.
Ivy, I might be able to help. I was actually a corporate social responsibility officer, and I was in charge of corporate fundraising for the company that I worked for. And not only have I been the person that people call and ask for funding, but I've also worked with bigger organisations to get corporate funding in place. And there is a little bit of a you wouldn't be able to put a link on LinkedIn and get a big corporate to sponsor you, because they don't operate that way. But there is ways and means, we can have a conversation about a process to be able to get over the threshold and in the door or into the right inbox. But it's very much like Gaelle said, you have to be, usually big companies will only go for charities that are aligned with the work that they're already doing or something that they're already doing. So that's something that you'd have to find out in advance, and then target the companies that are in the field that you're looking for. I mean, it's definitely possible, and corporate fundraising is a big job. It's big, and it can raise a lot of money really quickly. I raised thousands of pounds for Bernardo's in my position, doing lots of different exercises and initiatives. So that there's definitely ways and means, but yeah, it's not as easy as setting up a GoFundMe. I did one. I set up a GoFundMe for a lady in March, in April, funny enough, and Twitter is where I got all her funding from. But that was only because she was on the telly. She was had been on ITV News. I saw on the news. I decided that I wanted to help her. I set up a GoFundMe and I linked it to that news article and that hashtag, and it brought us in quite a lot of money. So there's ways and means of doing it, definitely. But if you're going for corporate, you're going to need a plan.
Thank you. I think I have to talk to you then, apart then.
Yeah, you can come and have a chat. Yeah, because like Gaelle said, you've got to do it through the CSR. That's the way to do it for big companies or their foundations. A lot of big organisations have foundations now that you can appeal to for money. But again, you have to jump through their eligibility requirements to get funding.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I think everyone has asked all of their questions. Thank you, Mary and Shireen, for having me. I am ever so appreciative. Thank you guys for being here. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And of course, until next time, if there is another one, I'm more than happy to do it again.
Yes, we've got you done.
You have more. You still have 3 to go.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah,
Yes,
great.
great. All right, everybody.
This has been such an amazing session. Thank you so much, everyone.
Oh, you're more than welcome. I'm glad you're here. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you. Keep in touch. Look out for the next event. We'll post it in the group, and do pop over to the website. If you're having any issues or anything with logging onto the website or updating anything, do just drop a note in the group, because we'd like to see you getting on there and using. And all of our webinars we'll post on the website as well. So if you're not here or one of your colleagues wants to listen in, then they can jump on and have a listen in that way.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye.